Hey parents, today we are going to be looking at a few different songs on page 12. Rockin' Robin, Yankee Doodle, and Surf Rock. Now, I've only asked your child to pick one of the three songs to do the melody notes to. So they'll either be doing Rockin' Robin, or Yankee Doodle, or Surf Rock. If they don't have the melody notes to one of those, that means that they're going to be playing the chords while someone else in the class is playing the melody notes. So let's start with Rockin' Robin. I'll make sure to get into the chords afterwards. Rockin' Robin, just to review, our notes are G, that's the open third string, G. Then we have A on the second fret, B is the open second string, C is the first fret, and D is the third fret. First string, open is E, F, and then G. So that's G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Alright, so Rockin' Robin, when I play it through, I'm just going to go ahead and say the note names out loud while I play it. So Rockin' Robin, make sure you also look at half notes. Those are going to be held out a little bit longer. Those are those notes that aren't colored in, they're white in the middle. And then quarter notes are the ones that are black. Those are going to be a little bit quicker. So, Rockin' Robin. 1, 2, 3, 4. F, E, D, E, F, E, D, F, E, D, B, A, G, G, F, E, D, E, F, E, D, F, E, D, B, A, G, G, B, A, G, 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 B, A, G, 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 G. So that's the melody to Rockin' Robin. Now there are two chords. The first chord we have is G. That's why there's a little G written above that first measure right at the beginning. And then every subsequent measure afterwards is also going to be a G until we get to the third line where we have C. If they don't specify, it means just keep playing the same chord you were playing in that last measure. So it's a lot of G. G. If you remember, we have the chord chart in the very back of the book, but this is the best way to make a G. You're going to want to put your third finger on the first string, third fret, big stretch to bring your second finger to the third fret on the sixth string. So they're both on the third fret. One of them's on the highest string, that's that third finger, and the other one's on the lowest string, that's going to be that second finger. Then you just put down your first finger on the second fret of the fifth string. Play all the strings, big beautiful open chord. So that's your G. So one student would be playing that while the other one's playing the melody part. Okay, C chord. C chord we have in the third line. We have it for two measures before we go right back to that G chord. C, you're going to put your first finger on the first fret of the second string. That's that C note. And then your second finger on the second fret of the fourth string. Then your third finger on the third fret of the fifth string. And you have a C chord. Make sure you don't play the sixth string for the C chord. Alright, next song we have Yankee Doodle. Exact same notes, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And if you need a refresher on those, you can actually just go back one page to page 11 at the very bottom. Is a really, really helpful chart. Alright, Yankee Doodle, we start on the note C, so we're going to go C, C, D, E, C, E, D, C, C, D, E, C, B, C, C, D, E, F, E, D, C, B, G, A, B, C, C. Alright, so those notes, we start with a C chord. We did that in Rockin' Robin, that second chord that we had. The G7, what you're going to do is you're basically going to take all these fingers and you're going to move 2 and 3 down a string and 1 up a string. So that's going to leave us with the first finger on the first fret of the first string, that's that note F. Second finger on the second fret of the 5th string, and then third finger on the 3rd fret of the 6th string. That is going to give us a G7 chord. We immediately go back to C, and then G7, C. We go back and forth between those two a whole bunch. Then we go to the note F, or excuse me, chord F. We go to the chord F. In the back of the book, it's going to ask you to do what's called a bar, where you take your first finger and you kind of cover 2 strings. You can do that, and if you can, good for you. But if you can't, that's okay. What I want you to do is just put your first finger on the 1st fret of the 2nd string, your second finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string, then your 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the 4th string. Just play those 3 strings. It's going to be 4, 3, and 2. That's the F. If you do it with the bar, it should sound like this. You just get that extra F. So 3 notes that are in an F chord or F, A, C, you get, that's an F. And then that first string is just another F. So they're kind of octave Fs. And there's my dog. Hi. Always wants to be in the videos. Okay, and that's it for the chords on Yankee Doodle. The last song we have is Surf Rock. So I'm going to go ahead and play the notes, just like I did on the other 2, and then we'll go into the chords. So we start in this note D, and we're going to go D, 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 C, A, C, D, 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 C, A, D, F, G, 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 F, D, 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 F, G, 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 F, D, A, C, D, 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 C, A, C, D, 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 F, D. That's a whole note, so you're just going to let it ring for 4 beats. The only new chord in this is the D chord. This is a pretty easy one. What you're going to do is you're going to take your second finger, put it on the 2nd fret of the 1st string, then your 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string, and then your 1st finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. Should look like a triangle, if you can kind of see that. You're going to play from the 4th string down. You get your D. The only other chord in here is a G. So those are all 3 of the songs. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to play them, just the notes, all the way through at a really slow tempo so you guys can kind of follow along with me if you want. I won't say the note names out loud, so I'm just going to go from one song to the next, not even stopping. So Rockin' Robin, Yankee Doodle, Surf Rock. Here we go. Let me do that one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bye.